Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are just seeing this channel for the first time, please subscribe and activate the notification button so that you'll be the first person to get notified when I drop new video. So in this tutorial, we'll be looking at developing an API using C#.NET Framework, right? It comprises of just for operation with an acronym CRUD, which simply means or stand for create, read, update, and delete. Create simply means add new item to the table or to your database. Read simply means read the item that you have added to the database. While update means update the existing item or existing record in the database. While delete simply means remove the record from the database. Without wasting much of our time, let's get started. I'll start by launching Visual Studio. So after launching your Visual Studio, this window will be displayed. And then just click on Create a New Project. So if you are launching your home Visual Studio for the first time, you might not see these two items, right? Just click on this search bar, search for Web API, Web API, and this will be displayed. Then click on ASP.NET Core Web API. Click on Next, give it a name. So in my own case, I'll give it employee record. Click on Next. Okay. So on this window, this is where you have to select framework. Then I have .NET 6, .NET 7, and .NET 8 installed on my system. Your own case, if you don't have .NET 8, you might select .NET 7 or .NET 6. But in this tutorial, I'll be using .NET 8, which is the latest framework as at the point when this tutorial was recorded. So after that, this is what you should say. Okay, close this window and let's check the Solution Explorer window. Then we have controllers folder, program file, weather forecast class, which is the default thing with this project. So let's launch it to see what we have. Change this to RS. Click on this button. Yes, this is the default template that came with the new project. So just click on this, try it out, execute. So this is what we have here, right? So if I click on execute again, so it keeps changing. Now let's get started by writing our own code. So the first thing I'll be doing here is to set up my project structure. I click on Solution Explorer, right click on add new folder, select new folder. So this folder, I mean, this will be a model folder. I need to add another folder. This should be my services folder. Let me add another folder. Call it interface. Okay, the next folder I would love to add is my DTO folder. That's data transfer object, DTOs, right? And we have all this folder created. So let's create our model. Right click on model folder, add a new class. I will name it register DTO. Inside this register DTO, we'll be collecting some basic information from our employee. Okay. Inside this register DTO class, so we'll be collecting some information from our users, such as first name, the role type is going to be a string, first name, then so if you are following right, just type proc, press tab, and then it will populate the remaining data string, last name, copy paste, email, paste, address, copy paste, phone number. Right. These are just the basic information we want to collect from our user. So the next thing is to create our services. Go back to Solution Explorer, right click on the service folder, select add, and click on class. Name it account, beg your pardon, account service. Okay. Now we have our account service class created. The next thing we want to do here is to create an interface for this account service. Please select add, click on class. So in this case, we are going to click on interface, then give it a name, I account service. So we have our interface class created. So the next thing here is to implement our constructor. Constructor is implemented. Right. So now let our account service inherit account service interface. Right. Account service. Bring it in. Right. Inside this account service interface, this is where we are going to have the interface of each method that we want to implement. Why this account service will be the main class that will interact with our database. So let's create a method. Let's call it okay, dynamic, because we don't know the return type yet. We'll change that later. Dynamic and it's going to be create account, create account, and it's going to take register payload. And it's going to start to payload. So let's bring it in. Just press Control period and select this because it's located inside model folder. This for uniformity, let's change this register DTO to create account DTO because we are using create account as the name of the method here. So let's change this guy. I right click on it, click rename, and create create account DTO. Press enter. Then to ask if you want you to rename the file across board, just click yes. Got it. Change the name here immediately. Alright, let's go and implement this create account async method. Go to account service. Look at it. Yeah, we have error here because account service does not implement interface member, which is the name of this member, right? So what we are going to do here now is let's bring in, click on this, interface service, press Ctrl period, click on implement interface service. So this has been implemented automatically. However, so you can also type it by yourself, but this saves time, right? So the next thing here is to register our service. So how do we register our service? We're going to register our service by going to program files, which is the starting point of our application, right? Double click on it to open it. Okay. So this is where we are going to register our service. The next thing is to by doing this, call this computer help us call services interface why the interface will interact with the business logic there. Right? So click on solution explorer. Right click on this controller folder. Alright. Click on add. Select controller. Services. So click on API. Select API controller empty. The reason why you are selecting API controller empty is because we are writing the code by ourselves. So if you select this guy, it's going to come with some scaffolding, meaning that some method will come with it that have been written. We just call it, but we are doing it right from scratch so that you know how to write it by yourself. Select API controller empty, then click on add to take you to this dialog box. The next thing is to give it a name. Look at it, comes with values controller by default. But we are going to give it the name, exactly the name of the service we created, which is account service, right? We're going to this is going to be account controller. Select add. We have our controller created. The next thing is to bring in our service, right? So let's inject our service by private read only I account service, which is our interface and account service. So let's create a constructor. Just type CTRO, beg your pardon, CTOR, press start. So now let's register our account service. Just bring it in and eject it here. Right, we have our account service injected. So the next thing is to create an endpoint. I think this, beg your pardon, HTTP post, right? Give it a name, create account, beg your pardon, it's going to be a string, create account, right? Public, assign task, out, actual results, then give it a name, I'll go with the same name, create account, yeah, we're going to bring in register, so create BTO payload. So what's the error? We're going to fix that now. Right. So let's have the response equals to this account service. Account service. Okay, pardon. Account service dot. Look at it. We can access our create account method that we have here inside this interface, right? So let's go back to our controller. Yes. So we have this. So this guy is saying that, so because the methods are text async, so we have to await it. Await, then return the response. Right. So let's launch this. So I'll test what we've done so far. Click on this. Yeah, so far this is what we have. This is the new method that we just created. Oh, sorry, this is the new endpoint we just created. We have first name, last name, email, address, and phone number. So if you click on try it out now, it's going to throw an exception because that method is we are yet to implement it. Let's try it. Click on execute. Look at it. The method of operation is not implemented. Let's continue. Stop it. Right. So the next endpoint I want us to create is the endpoint that will allow us to fetch the record. But don't worry, guys. We'll still come back. We'll come and implement this. But let's create a get endpoint. Right. So what I'm just doing is to copy this. Copy this and just modify it. Paste it. Then let me give it get uh, record. This is going to be http get get. So I can give it the same name. Just copy and paste this, get all records. Then I'll go to my interface. Go to my interface. I'm going to have another method defined here. Right? Dynamic. Dynamic return any data type, any record type, right? But we are going to be specific of the return type. So let's begin. And we will get a record. This is a get. We are not passing anything, just fetching all the record from the database. Right. The next thing, don't forget our account service will be throwing an exception now that this guy is not yet implemented. So let's check it out. Click on account service, look at it. This is the error. So what we are going to do here is to click, select it, press Control period, and click on implement interface. This guy is now implemented. Right. So let's go back to our account controller. So let's call this guy. Instead of create account, so what I'm going to do now is to get call this guy get all record. Don't forget it does not have anything, we are not passing anything. Take out this payload and from here to take this out, and get all records endpoint is ready. So that's something I forgot to add here. So this guy though it will still work with. Let's decorate it with body. Let's have this maybe well. So I believe that if you're following, you should be able to understand it from where we from the start to up to this point, right? Let's launch it again to see what we have. So guys, it is very simple as that. Look at it. We have our get all record endpoint here. So we try it out again. We're going to get the same error that we got from create record, right? From create account rather. So it's not yet implemented. Okay, let's go and implement this get all record. So what this means is we want to fetch data from the database. However, we will not be connecting our application to the database in this tutorial, right? What we'll be doing is to mimic how exactly the database works. So what we want to do is to fetch record. So what I'll do is to go to my solution explorer. So come to this models folder. Oh, sorry guys, beg your pardon. This create account detail was supposed to be inside this detail folder. So I'm going to move it there now, right? Just just click on it. Sorry, click on it and drag it to detail folder. It's going to ask you that just click OK. Oh, yes, this is where it's supposed to be. So beg your pardon. So let's continue. Inside this models folder, I'm going to have my model. This is just what this is the where how my database is going to interact to the database. I'm going to have my model here. I'll give it a name. Let me give it let's say use user user model. Click on file. Beg your pardon. So for uniform T, let me give it account model. Let me just remove instead of grabbing it. Remove account model. Account. Right. So this account model is just a replica of what we see into the database. So there are some data that we have here, right, from the DTO class. So to speed up our work, we don't need to repack everything, just copy it, come to the account model, paste it, right? So the remaining data will be log date time, then created as we want to capture when the user was registered. Then if there's an update on that account, we want to capture when it was last modified. And then we want to have another field, let me call it is it's going to be a full data type. Then I can set it to false or true. Okay, set it to true. Set it to true. So the next thing is to populate it onto this guy. How are we going to achieve that? Right. Let's go to get service. At the top here, let's just have some static data. Uh, private, private static, because it's going to be a list record. Then account, account model. It's going to be our account model. Mass service. And yeah, account model. Just a new account. Right. Inside this account, let's have this guy, this account, in the account, we have first name, postcode, first name, postcode, December, December, and we have last name, postcode, last, we have our address, the logo, Nigeria, then our face, we have email address, again, hello, phone number to be 087 234 567. and we have created it's going to be date time and month. So these are the data that is not visible to the user. Then updated because there's no update yet because it's set it to now saying date time that date time now and the last figure is active. Yes, we want to set it to the true. True. All right. Uh, Monday, okay, no good. Let me write it. Checks. Let me put it. Uh, okay. So let's have another record. Let's going to copy this, then modify, paste it. And this is let's see, let me give it okay, um, target, and this is under gmail.com. This phone number, it has now sorted. So let's have more record. Paste and save as in color. It is UK. Okay, so at gmail.com. And have this is phone number. So we have three records. So let's just assume that this is this record in the database, right? We want to fetch it. So the next thing to do here is to copy this account model. I said we are going to have this return type to be declared, right? So let me have it this way. And I come in my backup. Let us catch if there's any error, right? What to do? This response equals to new list because it's going to be a list of record. Print this out. Uh, so instead of this is expecting a response, but it's not of the return value. Just come here, return, beg your pardon, return this. Right. It's asynchronous. Okay. It's going to be an asynchronous step. Yeah. Just how that's it here. the error is gone. Now let's fetch our record. Don't forget we have this account, right? So let's call it go to the work results. That is results equals to account. Beg your pardon. Account dots. Study to list. That's all. So we can do surface response equals to results. And we can also check by saying if that's to validate record the data. If result.count is greater than zero, then do this. Move this guy here and else, beg your pardon. Else, meaning that if there is no record, then the service record equals to nil list here. It's just want to return empty this this guy. So guys, let's test it. Okay, this is it. I'm going to put a debugger here. Let me put a debugger here. Put a debugger here. So that when it hits this method, we get to know. So let's call it put and paste, get on record. You can try it out. Click on execute. This is here. This is here. Right? Then click on this. Click on this. Look at it. We have three records. Okay. Then click on continue now. Yeah, guys. So this is how to fetch record. Yeah, just we have completed how to fetch record. Now, guys, let's go and implement how to add record to the database. Don't forget, this is not persist yet, so we are not persisting the data, right? But in the next tutorial, I'll show you how to save the record into the database. This is just being saved into the memory. Right? So let's go and see how to add record to the database. So to save record to the database, so we'll be doing the same thing. Sorry, we are not using database yet, but to add record to this list of data, right? Right, it's still pretty much the same thing. So she's just built this, will modify when we get to where we'll use database. So to date, without wasting much of my time, just going to copy this. Yes, it's just more or less of the same thing that we're going to modify it. We're going to copy this to save us time, replace it with this. Yeah, with this. Okay, yeah. Then what I'm just doing here, the error we're seeing here is just waiting for this. Let's add here. Then the error is here. Right. So in this case, our red data will be stored inside this payload object. So what we are going to do here is to format it. So after we have done our validation, because we don't just take data from the customer and then save it directly to the database. So we are prone to square injection or other means of being hacked. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have beg your pardon, uh, new record goes to our account class that represent what will be saved into the database. Right. Your account. Suppose to have new account. So this account we already have yeah, first name. It goes to these are payload objects. Remember we have this same record in our payload object, right? Means this same data as a payload object. So payload dot first name, we got it. Then we have the first payload dot last name, then payload dot address, then we have email payload dot email, then we have uh, encrypted as it's going to be data dot now, and then last one is going to be data dot now. So let's do is active equals to true, right? So this one we have, then this is going to be instead of dot to list because we are not fetching, this is going to be dot add, dot add. We're going to pass this new record, pass it here. What's this saying? Gonna assign void to an implicit variable. Okay, let's fix this. Okay, yeah, cannot assign. Yeah, that's good. So this will not have any variable. Yeah, just remove this. Then what we'll be doing here is this new record. Let's return it back to the user. Let's return it back to the user. So just take out this, turn it back to the user. Back to this. There we go. Uh, so this is okay, okay, this is a collection. Beg your pardon. This is remove the list because we copy it from fetch endpoints. So this is how to add record to your database. So but don't forget we are not using database yet. So this is just going to be to be added to in memory. So let's test it out. Okay, this is it. So let's click on try it out. Then let me populate it with something. Uh, let me use Joseph, Joseph, then last name, Sunday, email, Sunday at Gmail, beg your pardon, gmail.com. This is United Kingdom phone number. Okay, just put any number and click on execute. Yeah, we have it here. Step over, step over, step over. Yeah, this. And then click on continue. Yes, we have our record being set, right? This is a pay phone number. What happened to phone number? Phone number is not there. Let's quickly check. Yes, we did not pass it. Okay. Now let me quickly show us something, right? So get all record. So if you call this get all record endpoint now to say that this Joseph Sunday will have been added. So let's click it and click try it out. Click on execute. We'll execute breakpoint here. And let me remove the breakpoint. Continue. So look at it. We have Joseph Sunday being added. So if I have another record now, it will also come here. Okay, let's add another record. Let's add another record. So let me change this Joseph to Samuel. I'll have Samuel Sunday. Then let me do Sunday Samuel at gmail.com. Sunday Samuel. Then I'll leave the address on the address and the phone number. Then click on execute. Continue. Then we have Samuel Sunday added. So don't forget the last record here was Joseph Sunday. So let's add another record. Sorry, let's call this get record. So now this is Joseph Sunday, and then we have Sunday. So guys, this is how we can save data. We have been able to use get and post, right? So we forgot to add phone number to be part of what will be saved to the database. Then let's quickly do that. So this is where the phone number is missing. I'll just do phone number equals to payload dot phone number. So guys, this is we have done like a two method now. We have done create, we have done read. So don't forget. So it's basically API is basically based on based on just for operation. We have done create and we have done read. So in the next tutorial, we'll be doing updates and delete. So guys, if you find this tutorial useful or helpful, please subscribe and turn on notification bell so you'll be the first person to get notified when I release the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.